we're going to be talking about games that I think are some of the best games. It might not be your favorite games, and obviously I haven't had as much experience with playing games, but there's some games that I just love to death. Okay, my first game up is Breath of the Wild. I love Breath of the Wild, and actually I love it more than Ocarina of Time. I never actually finished Ocarina of Time, and I never really got very far because I was terrible at it. But I like Breath of the Wild, not because it's easy, but because it felt new. I felt like the Zelda series, for the most part, kind of feels the same. But Breath of the Wild had a lot of like new things added to it, and playing Zelda games and then going into Breath of the Wild, it was quite a different experience because like the whole beginning of that game is just so mysterious and you have no idea what's going on, that it's an incredible game. So that is why Breath of the Wild is one of my favorite games. Next up we have Last of Us, and Last of Us is a game that I have not finished either, and it's not like I didn't play a lot of it. I just got stuck. It's a game that I think deserves to be called one of the best games of all time. And there's something like, I think it's just the story, it's so compelling that makes it a better game than other zombie games or other games in general. It's not necessarily just the zombie games, but it's like any game that's got a story, you know. And the thing that's interesting about Last of Us is it's supposed to be like a zombie game, but it doesn't feel like a zombie game to me. It feels more like a survival game where you have to survive and beat all these people that are trying to either kill you or take advantage of you or rob your supplies or whatever else. That's why I think that The Last of Us deserves to be one of the best games. My next favorite game would have to be God of War Ragnarok. I did beat that game. That game was fantastic. And the reason it was so good is not only because like the graphics and everything are amazing, but playing God of War 2018 and then going into God of War Ragnarok, it felt so much like it was just a continuation. It didn't feel like it had been, some time after that. It felt like you were just continuing to play. There weren't a lot of new like things that you had to do, and a lot of the areas were similar, but it was like the areas had been covered with snow, or you travel to different dimensions and stuff like that than you would in 2018's God of War. So, I mean, it's just a good game. It's got good storytelling, and it follows Norse mythology, from what I understand, pretty well. Yeah, it's a good game. The graphics are amazing, and it was kind of nice to play as Atreus. I didn't really enjoy those parts the best, except for when he was in the Land of the Giants. I forgot what it's called. But when he was hanging out with the girl, that part was pretty cool. But the rest of the Atreus parts I didn't really care for. I think they're planning on doing like Atreus side game. I'd much rather just have another Kratos game. And there's rumors that it's going to be Egyptian mythology. That'd be pretty cool. Or like Japanese mythology would be pretty cool too. So we'll just have to see. My next game is actually a game I'm playing right now. Is Forbidden West. And I haven't beaten the game either. But I beat almost all of it. And I beat the first one pretty quickly. The reason I like that game over Zero Dawn is because some of the features and some of the things that were missing from Zero Dawn they fixed in Forbidden West. It just feels like a more put together game than Zero Dawn. Although I did like the like whole like atmosphere that was given to us in Zero Dawn, the mystery and feeling like everything was like new, and there hasn't been a game like that for a long time that's been that intriguing and enthralling. Again, I could just talk about graphics all day long. The visuals in that game are fantastic. The story, so far, from what I've played, is really good. I don't know if I'd like the story better than Zero Dawn, but I will say that I am glad that I don't have to play as little girl Aloy in Forbidden West. Alright, and my last game that I'm going to talk about is Smash Bros. Smash Bros. Ultimate, to be specific. I've always been a fan of the Smash games ever since, you know, you face the hands in Smash 64. I don't forget what it was called. It's just a good game. And even if you don't know the controls, it's a game that almost anyone can get behind and play a little bit of. I do like Tony Hawk. I think I like the original better than this. I mean, the graphics on this and the art style and everything is really nice, but there's something about playing it on the 64 that was better than playing it on PlayStation. Honestly, my childhood was like Tony Hawk Pro Skater. I played Mario Kart with my brother all the time. Super Mario World was good. Donkey Kong was good. I played a game called Desert Storm something. It was like a military game where you had to take you're a helicopter and you had to take these different people and save these different people and do all this different stuff. Ocarina of Time was a big part of my childhood. We played a lot of, what's it called? James Bond, the one on PlayStation 2. I forget what it's called. We played a lot of that. Played a lot of Perfect Dark. If you ever played Perfect Dark, that game is really fun. It's GoldenEye basically. My friends played a lot of Left 4 Dead. I didn't really play it very much because I was really terrible at like first-person shooters. I played SimCities a lot. SimCity. If you ever played that game's actually pretty fun. Played a lot of racing games. Crash Team Racing. Played Mario Kart. Gran Turismo. Anyway, I'm gonna end it here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining. And I will see you in the next video.